Time for us to just freaking say it. I don't care about the political leanings of anyone who abuses children. I don't care if they're right or left. I don't care. If you abuse children, you're going to pay. You're going to suffer for what you did. And I don't care what party affiliation you are. And right now, it's coming out that more people who are, quote, right-wing are attacking. Now, that's not attacking Republicans. It's not attacking any party to say, for example, that, Bill Clinton, his name appears in some of these documents, and that's really frustrating. And even though I love Bill Clinton or loved him, I don't give a damn about him anymore. I want to know what he was doing, and if he was doing anything wrong, I want him to suffer. And if any member of any party was dealing with Epstein, they suffer. That's it. And it's time to stop with this belief that they were only Democrat, because it's just not true. And you need to start looking at those people who were telling you, if you are MAGA, that it was only Democrats, to understand exactly what they were trying to do to you. Exactly how you were being played and manipulated and toyed with. Let's just be clear. Donald Trump had a relationship with Epstein for decades. And apparently, a lot of other people did. Elaine Maxwell's own attorney said there are multiple people that are a part of Trump's cabinet who were there with Epstein. We already know there is photographic evidence of RFK, being with Epstein, and RFK himself said he was on Epstein's plane multiple times. Now what we have are new evidence coming out of the Epstein estate that Steve Bannon, just months before Epstein died, he is having breakfast with Epstein. Elon Musk was in December 6, 2014. Peter Thiel, November 2017. All of these people start becoming Republicans at this time. Why would they start becoming Republicans? What was happening? And the answer is the Pizzagate and that sort of stuff. The beginnings of the education of large portions of the Republican Party that the only people that were abusing children were Democrat. And an incredible marketing campaign was created that you could almost consider is a marketing campaign to get people to believe that there is a select group of people who are abusing children through Pizzagate, which is basically, there's a pizza restaurant in Washington, D.C., and it's pretty popular by a lot of elected officials. But somebody decided to turn that and say that they were, that you go into the restaurant, you give your magic word, or you poke a couple of buttons on the keyboard, and then poof, down you go into the chamber, and there are the children that you break open like eggs, and out comes the adrenochrome, and that adrenochrome keeps you young, and all this stuff. Or you sexually abuse the children, all this sort of stuff, and you get to do all this stuff and become younger. And the same thing, and that also applies to Hollywood. However, Republican actors are not connected to this because, for example, they make the movie, for example, of what is that, Call of Freedom, which seems to say that like Hollywood celebrities are doing the adrenochrome thing. But the problem is you're talking to Hollywood people who are in Hollywood. So the people who put on the movie was always like, well, if adrenochrome is happening in people in Hollywood, you're in Hollywood, you ought to know, expose it. But they don't. And the reason why they didn't is because it's all part of a simple marketing campaign to you to take what happened to the Epstein, to the children victims of Epstein, and people like Tony Lazzaro and others, and to turn it into a partisan issue. Because you know what happens when you have a partisan issue? 50% of the country is not going to come after you. The other 50% will. But the honest truth is, people don't give a damn when it comes to politics, when it comes to people who abuse children. You abuse children, I don't care, right, left, center. I'm a person who used to love, who used to love Bill Clinton. I considered him one of the greatest presidents of all time. But if his name is in those files, And that has me saying, I no longer give a damn about you. My respect for you went from, here to freaking here. And now what I need to know is exactly what you were doing with Epstein in full, complete detail. No bullshit. And if you did anything wrong, I either want you in jail or I want you to pay somehow. But that also applies to Donald Trump. That applies to Donald Trump and his record. That applies to RFK, and anyone else connected to it should also apply. And I'm just going to be very direct to Steve Bannon, to Elon Musk, and Peter Thiel. You don't get to get off of this. If you abuse children, I don't give a damn who you are. Stop believing that it's partisan. The abuse of children is not partisan. Get angry at the people who told you that. Because those people who were telling you that were helping you help the people get off who were abusing children. Because they turned it into partisanship and not what it was. Subhuman piles of dung doing terrible things to children. We should be against it and unite against it. And if you're on the right, just remind people, abusers of children are non-partisan. They are all subhuman crap. You abuse children, you don't deserve to be in office. The only way you should be able to hold office is if you can fully explain what you were doing. And then maybe you might be able to come back. But if you committed a crime, you're going to have to wait till you're prosecuted. But let's go do this. Let's stop letting politics get in the way of people who abuse children. I don't give a damn about the politics of people who sexually abuse children, and nor should you. End it. End the partisan games around Epstein and just get them all. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe.